The story begins in the United States, inside one of the most prestigious and respected colleges in the world, MIT. Here we see Professor Gerald teaching a mathematics class with his usual confidence and passion. When the lecture ends, he announces something unexpected to his students. He tells them that outside the classroom, on the hallway board, he is going to write a very difficult math problem, so difficult that only the sharpest minds can solve it. And whoever among them manages to solve it will have their name written in golden letters in the college's history. He tries to motivate them further by telling them that in the past, some of his students had actually solved this challenge, and today they are at the top in their respective fields. Because of the difficulty of the problem, Gerald gives the entire semester for them to work on it carefully and patiently. When the lecture ends, we are introduced to a completely different character, a young man named Will Hunting, who works at MIT as a janitor. He is not a student, not a professor, not someone known by anyone. He is simply the man who cleans the floors and empty corridors. But when Will walks by the hallway board and sees the math problem Professor Gerald has written, something inside him sparks. He silently studies the problem, memorizes it, and later that night he goes home and begins solving it on the mirror of his bathroom using whatever he has in hand. The next day, when he finds himself alone in the hallway, he picks up a piece of chalk and calmly writes down the answer. Without attention, without applause, without anyone noticing, Will solves a problem that was meant to challenge the brightest students of MIT, and he does it in only one day. Outside of work, Will spends almost all his time wandering around with his close group of friends. One day, while watching a baseball game, Will spots a boy who used to bully him in school. Instantly, anger rises inside him. Without thinking, Will marches toward the boy with his friends and starts a fight. Years of buried emotions explode. Will beats the boy brutally until his friends pull him back. As they try to leave, the police arrive. When one of the officers tries to restrain Will, he lashes out again. This time, he hits the police officer, an act that instantly gets him arrested. Meanwhile, Professor Gerald discovers that the impossible problem he wrote on the board has already been solved. He rushes to check it, shocked, and finds the answer written perfectly. Confused, he questions his sharpest students, but no one claims the work. Astonished, Gerald realizes someone unknown must have solved it. His next class overflows with students eager to find out who the mysterious mathematical genius is. But no one steps forward. Unsatisfied, Gerald writes an even harder problem, one that had taken him 2 full years to solve, and challenges the hidden genius to solve this one as well. While this is happening, Will is released from jail temporarily but soon ends up cleaning another hallway in MIT. The board is blank, ready for new equations. When he sees the second problem written by Gerald, he can't resist. Calmly, quietly, he begins solving it. At that moment, Gerald walks out of his office and sees Will writing on the board. Thinking he is just scribbling nonsense, he tries to stop him. But Will runs away before he can explain. Later, when Gerald returns, he is stunned. Will has solved the second problem too, the one that took him 2 years to figure out. Now Gerald finally knows the identity of the hidden genius. Later that evening, Will meets his friends and goes to a bar for drinks. While they're relaxing, his friend Chucky tries to flirt with a group of girls by pretending he is an MIT student. A nearby student overhears him and instantly exposes him by asking difficult history questions. Chucky is embarrassed and can't answer a thing, but Will steps in. With sharp, flawless intellect, he debates the student with such accuracy and depth that the entire bar goes silent. Will mocks him for memorizing expensive textbooks, reminding him that he learned the same information for free in a public library. Humiliated, the student leaves. One of the girls, Skylar, is impressed and walks over to Will, giving him her phone number with a smile. By now, Professor Gerald knows he must find the janitor who solved his problems. After questioning around campus, he finally obtains Will's contact information and rushes to his court hearing. Because Will has previous charges for fighting and theft, the judge refuses to ignore his attack on a police officer. He orders that Will must go to jail unless he pays $50,000 in bail, a price far beyond Will's reach. However, Gerald steps in. He offers Will a deal. He will arrange his release, but only if Will agrees to study mathematics with him and attends mandatory counseling sessions with a therapist. Will laughs at the idea of therapy but reluctantly accepts. Anything is better than staying in jail. Soon Will begins his math sessions with Gerald, effortlessly solving problems even Gerald struggles with. But therapy is a disaster. Every therapist Will meets becomes a new target for his jokes and humiliations. He reads their books the night before and uses their own words to mock them. Each therapist quits, defeated and frustrated. Out of desperation, Gerald approaches his old friend Sean Maguire, a psychology professor who now lives a quieter life. Sean hesitates, uninterested in taking more work. But when Gerald explains the uniqueness of Will's mind, Sean agrees to meet him. During their first session, Will behaves exactly as he has with the others. He reads Sean's book beforehand and mocks him with clever insults. Sean responds calmly, speaking to him with surprising normalcy, refusing to be provoked. But then Will notices a painting in Sean's office, a painting Sean himself created, using it as an entry point. Will begins making hurtful assumptions about Sean's life. Sean remains patient until Will brings up his late wife. The moment Will disrespects Sean's wife, Sean loses control. He grabs Will by the throat and warns him never to insult her again. Will smirks, thinking he has broken another therapist, but to his shock, Sean agrees to continue the sessions. He sees something special in Will, something worth fighting for. Outside therapy, Will starts dating Skylar. Their first date is warm and funny, and he learns she comes from a wealthy family and studies at Harvard. She finds Will fascinating, brilliant, humble, unpredictable. Their chemistry grows quickly, and by the end of the evening they share a kiss. When Will returns to Sean the following week, something has changed. Sean takes him outside to a quiet park. Surrounded by calm trees and gentle breeze, Sean tells him something Will has never heard before, something that will change the direction of his entire life.